When people do not feel like a priority in their relationship, it hurts. We want to feel valued, special, and seen by the person we love most. So when we enter into a serious relationship, our language must change from me to we. But it's not that easy. In this video, I'm going to share some ideas to help you prioritize your partner and your relationship in everyday decisions. As this video is released, we're still in the midst of protecting ourselves and others from the quickly spreading COVID-19 disease. So now more than ever, we have to think about what's most important in life and ask ourselves whom and what are we devoted to. Many of the reasons couples get stuck and end up feeling frustrated, confused, and disconnected is in how their decisions are made. It's very honoring to another person who will be impacted by the outcome of a decision to be considered. So when we choose to be in a relationship, we must also choose to include that special person in our thoughts and how our daily decisions will impact him or her. We may be surprised if we pay attention to how often we use the word I and end up with our romantic partner feeling left out. I don't think this is always intentional, but I do know there is a way to do this better. So I'm going to share 3 important insights to remain aware of and help you prioritize your partner. Number 1 is being careful. Primarily, we have to be careful. Whenever we're faced with opportunities that will require using up some of our major resources of time, money, and energy, we can benefit from slowing down. Rather than be careless and make impulsive decisions, it is a good practice to be sensitive and show empathy for how our partner could be affected by our decision. Doing this helps demonstrate that our partner and relationship are a high priority by the decisions we make every day. So a visual you can add into your decision-making process is what I call the relationship filter. We have many opportunities coming our way that compete for our time, energy, and attention. Even activities that we'd consider good, like helping other people, finally making a purchase we've both talked about, or spending time with friends. And despite the many distractions in life, we must choose to be purposeful and intentional about our committed relationship. And so any opportunity that comes our way, we can ask ourselves, how will this affect my partner and us as a couple? Have we talked about this decision together? It's important to begin thinking about how many emotional investments we make each day by evaluating where we spend our limited emotional and physical energy. We have to honestly look at where our most important people fit in the order of priority. I once heard a pastor say that looking at our checkbook will help us see what we value. You can tell that was a long time ago. So now it's more likely our credit card statement, and I would add our calendar to help evaluate our priorities. Look at where you've spent your time and what proportion your partner or spouse shows up on your calendar. It's important to remember this. If we're saying yes to one thing, we're essentially saying no to other things. So how we spend our time and with whom directly affects our partner and our sense of closeness. All right, number 2. The next element in processing decisions is compassion. A few questions we can ask ourselves are, how would this decision make my partner feel? Is this choice draining or strengthening our sense of connection? Will this decision benefit only me, or does it have the potential to help my partner and me feel good? We demonstrate respect for our partner when we consider his or her best interests. And so shared decision-making and inviting input from each other contributes to our overall relationship quality. With both major and minor decisions, this joint effort produces immediate unity. We can avoid a lot of unnecessary relationship stress by including our partner. Each person has different feelings, thoughts, perspectives, beliefs, intuition or gut feelings, that can contribute to better decision making that a couple can feel good about and both be benefited by. Feeling included in a decision can feel very empowering and connecting. We feel good because the other person values and invites our input. And decisions that affect couples can help them feel more confident about the outcome and reduce blaming. Even if we've leaned more toward the other person's preference, we still want to avoid this intimacy-destroying statement. Well, you're the one that wanted this. Think about an invitation you received. For example, maybe a friend or coworker asked you to go out for lunch. But as a couple, your time together has been in short supply, and you're really trying to save money. What do? And how do you approach your partner with this opportunity? First of all, as an adult, are we supposed to ask permission to play with our friends, eat certain foods, and how to spend our money? This can be hard, and we can easily get stuck here. We might avoid asking because we don't want to hear no. And after all, we're a grown person, and we usually default to thinking, I want to do what I want to do. Even though we may have those thoughts, I think there's another way to look at this, a very practical way to honor each other in this thought process. If we change from asking permission to compassionately considering, we can prevent miscommunication, frustration, and resentment. Anything that can prevent pain and distance or reduce resentments is worth trying, right? Including our most important person in our decisions might sound like this. Tom invited me for lunch. I think it would be good to spend some time with him. What do you think about this? Do we have anything going on Saturday afternoon? Even though this invitation was for just one person, when we slow down to include any plans we might have as a couple that we maybe didn't even know about yet, and had compassion about our partner's feelings, we are moving from me to we. Different from including is simply reporting. This usually doesn't work very well. That sounds like, I'm going to lunch. I'll be back in a couple hours. There was no conversation and the decision was already made. Okay, on to number 3. After we slow down to be careful and compassionate in our decision making, we want to continue to be considerate. You may have noticed in my videos, I often refer to your committed relationship as your most important relationship on earth. I truly believe that. When we prioritize our relationship or marriage, life just seems to go better. But whether you're married or not, where you direct your attention demonstrates to your partner what matters most to you. Basically, we're moving from independence to interdependence. I want to read a couple paragraphs from my book, 40 Forms of Intimacy, to help with this. Our ability to shift our relationship framework from independence to a healthy interdependence is directly related to the amount of control we're willing to give up. As we live independently, we hold the most control over our daily decisions. We feel safe in knowing and regulating how we will spend our time, money, and energy. And to an extent, we can regulate what happens to us. Independent from others, our high sense of predictability offers a high sense of security. Now enters another human. As we choose to share our lives with another person, we're also agreeing to hand over some of our freedom, control, and predictability. After all, we chose each other. We decided that living and sharing our lives together was much more desired than living independently. Feeling like we depend on somebody else can be a difficult idea all on its own. But if we're in a committed relationship, we are choosing to blend lives and take a step into our future with our partner every day. And deciding to get married is a major life decision. But as I've mentioned in other videos, most of us have not been adequately prepared for this life-transforming endeavor. It's important to remember that this decision alone is not enough to produce the loving feelings day after day, year after year. Every day we can decide to love our partner by considering him or her in our choices. So how we spend our resources, our time, energy, money must be adjusted. We consider when our decisions will help or harm our most important person. Most of us can identify consequences that we're experiencing even today because of a decision we made long ago. When we choose to be in a relationship, we must also choose to include that special person in our thoughts and how our daily decisions will impact him or her. And this is so hard. How do we do this? As a couple, talk about the personal decisions you each make. Are you satisfied with how you each consider each other in the decisions that impact both of you? Discuss your decision-making framework and whether you feel you need your voice to be considered more. Use the relationship filter with all your decisions, big and small. When we've invested time in the relationships that are most important, we will also feel peace to step into the activities we enjoy as an individual. Our partner will feel like a priority and will feel valued and cared for. This is huge because consistently feeling valued and considered answers the deepest questions we ask ourselves. Do I matter to the person I love most? Can I depend on him to be there when I need him the most? Does she love and care about me? And when two people are prioritizing their relationship this way, all needs are met and an intimate connection is felt. Well, I hope you appreciated the simple, practical approach to decision making for your relationship to be a higher priority. Make sure to take care of yourselves and each other and enjoy this day.